Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Viper909. Psych. It's your boy Ray Uso. Y'all already know the gamer tag and shit. I always say that. I don't know why. I get so confused. But, guys, it's been 1 year since WFEW started. Wow. Just wow. Where it all began. Where it has all began. I'm gonna have to make sure I send the link real quick. That's what I'm doing right now. Also do that. Paste. Send. There we go. Alrighty. So it's been a year since WFEW started. Welcome to WFEW The Hype, though, where we get things done in a correct manner. For instance, if y'all have not seen the Friday Night Showdown, y'all, it was crazy. It was crazy. I would pull up the highlights. I could try to pull up the highlights. What's this? Add a layout. Can I add a layout? No, I can't. Cancel. Cancel that. I can't even add a fucking highlight video. What's this? Layout. That's a new layout. So basically, new layout is like where I show everybody the stuff that gets done type. Man. And then Mason freaking Black surprised me when I seen it. It was just like he did not just do a swanton bomb off a ladder. Are you crazy? I'm thinking he was gonna hurt himself. But on some real stuff, guys, it's been a year since WFEW started. So make sure that y'all go ahead and support WFEW as we're doing this right now. Later on, I think today we're going to be adding Mason Black to the stage along with Firestar, along with, other superstars that's in WFEW. I just want to make sure that I get everybody all set up on here. Since then, make sure I add everybody. Make sure. And then Austin's probably currently busy, but post it to the whatchamacallit. Let everybody know, hey, come join in to the hype show. Yeah. So if you're wondering, I'm going back and forth. It's been an honor since WFEW started. And guys, let me tell you, none of this would happen without y'all. And I'm gonna be real. This right here made things really go far. It's currently 10:20, and we actually doing an early show for y'all, so that way y'all know, okay, Ray Uso is now in the building. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're gonna add Adonis Filios to the stage. Welcome, Adonis Filios. How you feeling today?
Oh, stiff heat cold, but I can make it.
That's good. So anything you want to bring into WFEW's 1 year anniversary?
Well, it's a moment of reflection, a moment of celebration, and a moment of making sure we're not a distant memory, not only as a group, as a team, as a united front, but also as a family.
Yes. And guys, y'all heard it from him. We as a family building stronger by the minute. What was your thoughts on Mason Black hitting the Swanton bomb off the ladder? Because when I seen it, it was just like, wow.
Well, to me, even though it was a bit of a shock, even though originally I would stepped in and just cancel the match right away, but it's not my call. Number one, under that circumstances, beyond my control. However, if Drake Superwolf was watching right about now, or Mason Black, if you're watching right about now,
Technical difficulty.
this is
Oh, never mind. We back. Okay.
this is to Drake Superwolf and Mason Black. I understand you guys have bad blood in the past, but even during that match after that Swanton bomb, I get it. I understand it's a little bit of a personal vendetta, but just remember this: one of the two things that should happen going forward. Number one, go over your match, practice a little bit more better than what you used to. Number two, make sure, and I repeat, make sure you don't go too serious amongst each other where you air out your dirty laundry, especially whatsoever. So, like I said, the important thing is, in a nutshell, to make the long story short, please go your match, please practice a little bit, apply it from each other, have the knowledge, I repeat, have the knowledge to ensure you're safe and that other opponent of yourself is safe as well. Period, point blank. Because based on what I saw in the footage, the worst could have came the worst, and something would have turned it around like there's no tomorrow. And most importantly, Great Silver Wolf, you up in the hospital with almost a week with sustained not only shoulder injury, but who knows, it could be 10 times worse than a shoulder injury. So please, Mason Black, Great Silver Wolf, if you're out there and you're listening very carefully, that goes to anybody, especially around my company, BTCW company. I highly advise go over your match, study your moves, practice it multiple times if you have to. Times, practice makes perfect. Not always, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be good. Not everything has to be perfect, but execute it and execute it right. Time it right, execute it right. Period. That's it.
And that's all to it. And like you were saying, yeah. I mean, that was a dangerous move off the ladder. And like when I watched it, it was just like, wow, he did not just pull that off. Like it was just like a Jeff Hardy moment to me. Like when I seen it, and I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. Like that happened, and it happened so fast. I had to rewind it and play in slow mo, and I was like, wow. But it could have ended badly, like you were saying, with a broken shoulder or anything else injury wise. It could have ended badly, but push come to shove, that made history right there. I think that made WFEW history. What you think?
Not only that, that could be somehow, some way, in its own unique way, it could be award nomination worthy, but most importantly, that can make somewhat of a fair ancient history.
And see that right there, like, that shocked everybody because I've been watching Mason Black for a minute, and how he hit the swanton bomb off a balcony stand. It was just like, I would never thought a ladder he would do it off a ladder. Like, I think Mason Black, deserve a lot of congrats on that and pulling that off. Even though it was, unsafe, but at the same time, it was just like, you just made history in WFEW in so much little time. And now it's going into a pay-per-view of Goosebumps, day 1 and day 2. I know everybody preparing for that. So what's your thoughts on that pay-per-view? And what's going through your head?
I think for Goosebumps, I think we're going to make history once again. Only this time, we're going to make sure that match, even if it has to be a rematch, where history is going to be made and rekindled. That in itself, I say this, is that Mason Black, Drake Silverwolf, you're gonna knock the roof off this place. But only this time, you're gonna make it 10 times better than it was before. That's a guarantee.
Yeah. And I know the GM is, looking into this and probably like, yeah, it could do some, but we let the GM handle it. And especially you as the co-commissioner, you and the GM, y'all sit down, y'all talk about, certain things and certain events and how to prevent injuries. Have you spoken to the GM lately?
Not since my last business trip that took place this past weekend. But on that note, I want to address the 8,000-pound gorilla in the room based off what's been happening, especially within the group chat, is that there's some of a disagreements between the two. I understand they may not know each other, and the other might not trust the other, but especially in any company, in any Fed, in order for you to get along, you gotta go along, no matter what. I mean, sometimes if you have to agree to disagree, but still, we keep things in sync, just like that, no matter what. We don't change it like crazy. And the last thing we don't need is personal, unnecessary drama in the mix, where they're just bashing heads like it's no tomorrow.
Right.
I get it. Everybody has their trust issues with certain people, even though they barely don't know the person.
Mm-hmm.
But still, by the book, we bring anything to anyone in the table where it belongs. Put all the cards in the freaking table, no matter what. But at the end of the day, GM, co-GM, no matter who it turns out to be, when it comes down to the commissioner, the co-commissioner, such as myself, I get the final say and the final word, whether people like it or not.
Right. And what does the GM think about what's going on with Drake Silverwolf and how he comes to the group chat and complain? Like, is the GM what's the GM's plan for that?
Well, for me, on the other hand, which I'm glad that I read Drake Silverwolf numerous times, gave him a little bit hard talking to. I just want to make sure that Drake Silverwolf, other than above anybody else, to keep a low profile and at a minimum of complaints that's been going on for days, weeks, or even months on that. The last thing we don't need is somebody out of the woodwork, especially trolls, any critics, anybody you can think of, claiming that we're a laughing stock. The last thing we don't need in the review is laughing stock.
Right.
It's gonna make us look bad. It's gonna make us sound bad. And we gotta make sure we master our craft at all costs. I
Correct.
mean, it means we don't work each other up just because you cannot deem to handle it or trust one another for the longest. Still, today we work together. There's no I in team whatsoever.
No.
If that's the case, if this is I in team and you acting like a childish tyrant, then I'm sorry. It's unfortunate that you don't belong here.
Right. So with that being said, is you and the GM planning on making big announcements next show? Like, what's the big announcements that you, the female, the women's GM and the GM that's, you know, above you? Because I know y'all got some announcements to make next show. What's the big announcements?
It's already been determined during the podcast last night, so that's already been made. So everything is official as of this late in time. So I gave everybody a very, very serious note and a statement that number one, it's already all hands on deck. And number two, it's the moment in time where everybody seizes the moment and step the hell up. That means I'm not gonna be bullshitting. I'm not gonna be doing none of those things. Because you get my bad side, unlike last week and the weeks beforehand, where it's chaotic and out of control, and you can't find a solution to every other problem, where people cannot get to it. The last thing you don't need to see or hear is a very bad side of me. And they will feel my impending wrath no matter who it can turn out to be. That means someone's going to get reprimanded, either they're going to get suspended or definitely fired.
And that's another thing too. I heard that Nick Alpha was planning on joining, but ended up disrespecting the other wrestlers. So what's going on with him, and what's going on with the GM and how the GM handled that?
I'm going to say this. Hopefully, Nick Alpha, even if he's listening in on this, even though he's not in contract as of late, but we're going to have contract negotiations with that. He will remain under contract negotiations, especially in fair talks. But however, we don't want to repeat from other fans that he's been through in the past because he has a very, very lengthy history with that. I want to make sure I make it abundantly clear that we don't want bad history repeat after itself. If I see anything wrong with that, above anything else, no matter what company you may end up being in, especially with WFEW or BTCW, it's the end of the line. Period.
So with that being said, I know there's a lot of big announcements coming up, and I know that you, the women's GM, and the men's GM, um, is the announcements gonna be like really good, like strongly? What's going on with the tribal chief far as Ray Uso? I heard Ray Uso been doing good so far, holding his universal title, but what's the plans for the making of the bloodline that he got going on?
Well, I commend him of making everything unique within WFEW and also BTCW. So, what I propose, hopefully in the foreseeable future, somehow down the line, that we have an official championship coordination forum somewhere down the line, and our general managers are going to be coordinating and making arrangements for that as we speak. So we'll have more details of that matter as it develops.
Okay. So, what's your thoughts about Ray Uso?
Well, let's just say Rey Uso definitely established dominance throughout this 1 year anniversary of WFEW. So I definitely commend him for it.
Right. Hold up. I'm getting a call. Okay. Go ahead. What were you saying again?
Like I said, we're in developing details of what to do for his future championship coordination. And we're coming up with ideas and suggestions of what to do as far as having a brand new WFEW Universal Championship.
Now, what I'm hearing is Drake Silverwolf is trying to go after Ray Uso for the title, but there's a match within the bloodline between Tyler Art and Big Bad Silverwolf.
With that being said, I think in 3 weeks' time, Big Bad Silverwolf will take on Tyler Art. Will take on Tyler Art in a future match. But as far as for BTCW purposes,
Oh, that thought. We got somebody coming in. Speaking of Tyler Art, if he tunes in. The 1 year anniversary song that he just played. Oh my God. Happy as hell. Welcome to the podcast, Tyler Art.
It's not Tyler Art. Repeat that again.
Man, whoa. You want me to repeat it? It clearly says your name, Tyler Art.
Yeah, no. You gotta say this. Ladies and gentlemen, the longest reigning, defending AIW champion in the whole world. Look, Tyler Art.
I did coaching, yes, I like to wear it. Pause that. We're going to be playing. Pause it.
Man, what's the thing about?
My mistakes are like a single pair, just repeating lyrics. I can really I can't really hear you.
Like a gun barrel. Are we all searching for the same weapons? I was breathing.
Okay. So we were just discussing about your match against Drake Silverwolf.
Drake Silverwolf. I am tired of you guys giving me Drake Silverwolf every time. I whooped him once. I whooped him twice. I whooped him 3 times. I am tired of whooping him over and over again because I am tired of him. I just use him as a mop the floor, or use him as a broomstick and sweep him. But you know what? He wants some? Drake Silverwolf wants some? Okay. I'm gonna get him.
Call Commissioner.
I can have your undivided attention, please. This could be a big one that can change both you and Silverwolf's opportunities forever. I strongly suggest, in less than a few weeks' time, it'll be you, Tyler Art, versus Drake Silverwolf in a best 2 out of 3 falls match. But here's the kicker.
2 out of 3 falls.
The winner of that match will receive a #1 contendership for FEW Universal Championship at that same night.
You see what I did. I accept the match, but one thing is, I can't do it to Ray Uso. Ray Uso told me to do something to Drake Silverwolf for his match, and I have to do it. I'm gonna just destroy him. I might injure him. I might end his career. He might not show up for my match out of 2 out of 3 falls. If he don't show up, that means I win, and I move on. Because I'm gonna hurt Drake Silverwolf so badly.
Now, I got a question for you. What has Ray Uso have planned for you? And I know there's one person that's holding the world title right now. What does Ray Uso have planned for you? And within the bloodline?
You see, the bloodline, me and Ray Uso came up to me and he told me, he said, "Hey, Tyler, I need you to do me a favor." I was like, "Okay, what's the favor?" He said he wants me to take out Drake Silverwolf. He wanted me to show him honor of Ray Uso. I know Ray Uso is the tribal chief and I'm his right-hand man. But Drake Silverwolf is not ready for us. When he came first in the WFEW company, when he called out the tribal chief and talked about, saying that he's going to take his belt, I came to help Ray Uso. We both attacked him his first debut on WFEW. And I'm gonna the plan. You guys stay tuned because you know what I'm gonna do to Drake Silverwolf? It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. You might have to carry him out the ring. You might put him somewhere because I'm gonna go really hard on him.
Now I know.
I don't care.
Now I know the GM spoken about the match between you and Drake Silverwolf, and I know.
Yeah, see, Drake Silverwolf.
So to let you know, I know that Mason freaking Black cashed in on you, and I know you were like, you know what? Let's go to Tribal Chief and see what the Tribal Chief want me to do. Now, does the Tribal Chief want you to bring that title back home? How does the Tribal Chief want you to do it? Is he calling you the main event?
You see, you
technical difficulties. He'll be back. Speaking of Tyler, he is back. Technical difficulties on his end, as always. Is loading.
He didn't go after me. He went after Drake Silverwolf until somebody, the co-commissioner, the GM, Ray Uso, who did it, told him you got the wrong person.
Ray Uso is not GM. Remember, the GM is E-Money. But
okay. Well, my bad for a second. When I came out and I won that belt, when I won that belt against Drake Silverwolf, C-Money came out and said, "That's your wrong target. Your target is Tyler." I said, okay. I was going to go back in the back and celebrate, and I was going to have an opportunity at the next event of WFEW, Mason freaking Black versus Tyler for the title on the line. But no, he wants to keep that briefcase and cash in on me. You know what? I'm going to get him back. I'm going to get him back real good, and I'm getting that belt back.
But before we get started, who just popped in my office and popped into the building, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
are you at the host?
And introduce you to the new world heavyweight, world Wisconsin championship, Mason.
Are you at Nicole's?
Freaking Black.
Yep, he is at Nicole's. Yep, you're at Nicole's.
Now, as he's coming up, as big.
Are you at Nicole?
Sir, we on the podcast. We don't say
fuck you, fuck your podcast. You gonna get on your knees and kiss my ass, bitch.
Wait. Hey, how's it going? Is everybody got a fucking chair around here? I mean,
pull up the chair. Yep, pull up the chair.
I mean, shit. Give me the chair, sir. No, fuck you. Stay back. Stand in the back. I'll get my own goddamn chair.
Mason Black is in the building. See?
Disrespectful, non-catering out to the champ type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Mason Black, how do you feel about the 1-year anniversary of WFEW? And what inspired you to get into WFEW?
Well, I could say one thing to answer your second question first. WFEW inspired me. You inspired me to go into the company. Asked me to join your company and sign the contract, and I did with no problem. Became the Intercontinental Champion last year, and now I am a Wisconsin champion.
But
A year later,
the co-commissioner do want to talk to you about some stuff. Co-commissioner, if you will please say what you got to say while Mason
Also,
freaking Black is here.
Let me finish before. I want to say it's been a one hell of a year for WFEW, and hey, there's many more memories to come. You know.
Yeah. Co-commissioner, what's what you want to do announce for Mason freaking Black?
Yeah, who's my next opponent? What's the next match? I mean, come on, I'm a fighting champion. I'm ready for this.
So, what I know you got a thing with Big Bad Silver Wolf,
Oh, him.
and the ladder match that happened that occurred obviously could have been injuries and
Yeah.
everything.
I mean,
Co-commissioner,
I made sure it was safe though. I laid down and I think his stomach.
yeah.
So that's fine. I bounced like a trampoline though. I mean, shit, why not?
I mean, you know, like co-commissioner said, make sure that it's
Yeah.
safe, make sure everything. Because when he watched it
Uh-huh.
and seen it, he was like,
Yeah, Drake.
he didn't know what to say. The
Yeah.
GM looked at
Big
it.
Bad Silver Wolf said, well, the Big Little Silver Wolf, whatever the fuck he calls him himself, but he said he was walking into that match with a shoulder injury and didn't tell nobody until afterwards. So how is anybody supposed to know?
That is true.
Yeah.
So I know that the Tribal Chief
That's
came
not our
out
fault.
that
That's
day.
not
The
the
Tribal,
commissioner's fault. That's not your fault. That's not nobody's fault but Drake's.
I know that you and the Tribal Chief are really good friends.
And when I won the title, that's nobody's fault but Drake's. No matter who I won it from, it's nobody else's fault but Big Bad Silver Wolf or Silver Pop, whatever the hell he
Now,
calls himself.
I know you and the Tribal Chief, right, also is really good friends. I know he walked out,
I can't
but
take nothing
did
from
you expect him to come out to attack Drake Silver Wolf, or was it like planned? Was it like?
I honestly was like, what the hell is going on here until you came
But-
over and knocked out Big Bad Silver Wolf, and then
When he,
after
when
that,
he-
I was confused when you came over to me and said, handle that. And I'm like, might
but
as well.
the Tribal Chief, Ray Uso, is actually gonna be sending Tyler Ark your way. Sadly, to take away the belt that you cashed in on recently. Any thoughts about that? Is you ready for like to get
thing is,
just to brush it off your shoulders, just to lead into the 2-day event of Goosebumps? Like,
Well,
what's your thoughts about that?
My thoughts is the difference between Tyler Ark and the big difference, I should say, between Big Bad Silver Wolf and Tyler Ark is Tyler Ark actually beats people for the title. Drake never did. You know that? Like back in BTCW, I mean, we had a 2 out of 3 falls match. He lost. Drake lost that one. His debut, he lost. And then he loses like in WFEW like a fucking chump that he is.
Now, I know he's new, and I know he's new, and for the people out there, you know,
But he's calling
especially
himself a superstar and a wrestler and calling himself a champion. He never even won the belt.
now.
He
Here's the
never won
thing.
this belt. I'm the one who won it with Tyler Ark pretty much. He won it and I won it too. So,
Here's
I won
my
it
thought
twice.
theory
All
about
right,
the whole
but
situation. Huh?
please know this. Please know this. I give Drake Silver Wolf props. He
Yeah.
carried the belts. He made it relevant for the company for it to exist for
he
nearly
carried the belt, he never won.
days. So I commend him for that.
Yeah.
He carried the BTCW banner on his back. That is a given.
I gotta say, I gotta take that from him because if he carried it on his back, how is he losing matches? And then how did he not win the belt? You know, that's not carrying it on his back. If anybody, that 57 days of borrowed time was actually courtesy of my 57 days, not his, because he's never won the belt. You know, with all due respect, you know,
Yeah,
like
but
Jake never won the belt.
what the GM is definitely looking at too, and we are waiting for announcements before the show of this upcoming show of WFEW. They got some big announcements. Including the women's GM got big announcements for the women's. But the GM is like, what the biggest concern about the GM is okay, by you and Big Bad Silver Wolf bumping heads a lot.
Oh, for our feud, yeah.
Obviously, it to them is getting out of hand. To the co-commissioner is getting out of hand.
Oh wow.
So there might be a brand switch. So you might be going to Showdown, and he's going to be going on to Monday Fear.
Okay, that's cool.
So that way it separates y'all
right.
from what the GM was, posting on Twitter recently.
Well, I don't got a Twitter nowadays. I thought it was Instagram and Snapchat, and of course Facebook.
Yeah, but I know the GM was like looking like, okay, this is an ongoing thing between y'all two.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I think it'd be best if Drake goes to Monday Night Fear, because I don't think he actually deserves, let alone even a title opportunity against me, as long as I'm champion.
I mean,
Tyler Art deserves it more.
And this is a kicker part that we all figured from you being Mason freaking Black and the stunts that you pulled.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing was the Swanton bomb off the ladder. Like, I gotta ask you this: how in the hell did you feel comfortable doing that? Like, what was going through your mind when you went up there and you say, "Okay, I'm gonna gun it. I'm just gonna end it right here."
Yeah. I mean, that Swanton bomb was going through my head was, of course, the inspiration of Jeff Hardy. That's my idol. Second of all, what was going through my head was, I'm just pretty much gonna do what Jeff Hardy does, whether I hit or miss. I mean, I'm creating a moment, That's
and you made history, and you made
twice.
Friday Night Showdown really pop. 107 views on that just by that match alone. Like, I think the women did good, but when it came down to the ladder match, obviously it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
But then I know when the GM was out there announcing it, and Drake Silverwolf came out, and then you came out, and it was just like, okay, there is a feud right there. I can see that. Right. I can see that from my perspective, because y'all have a long-term feud with each other, and y'all don't like each other.
Right.
Big Bad Silver Wolf, everybody's right.
Oh,
you do need training.
It's not that I don't like him. It's I don't respect the way he tries to run things. Don't get me wrong. I like the guy. He's good. He's not great. He's good. But it's just the antics and shenanigans he pulls. Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, the shenanigans and all that. Right. Yeah. Before we continue, WFEW The Hype plus 1 year anniversary for WFEW.
By the way, happy 1 year anniversary to WFEW.
Yeah. So with the co-commissioner, he's actually going to be there next show.
Cool.
He's making his appearance to do the announcements with the two GMs.
Okay.
Out of respect, the GM and co-commissioner did come to agreement. You, Drake's Big Bad Silver Wolf, will be in the back when they're doing announcements. No interruptions.
Right. Oh,
no interrupting them, because
oh my Lord.
From what I'm hearing from the GM, either if you or Big Bad Silver Wolf interrupt them while they're making announcements,
right,
one of y'all will be suspended and the title will be vacated. If you do this.
Right.
If Big Bad Silver Wolf does it,
right,
he'll be suspended.
Right.
Because that's disrespecting the co-commissioner
and the company.
And the two
the
GMs.
reason why I came out that day, because I seen all of that, commotion in the ring, and I figured I'd come out and see what was going on and see if Drake was going to try and do anything stupid to me or something, and that way he can just get, blacked out,
Now, as far as the the Tribal Chief Ray Uso holding the Universal belt. Do you give him props for how long he been holding it for?
Yeah, most definitely.
Like I know he been running WFEW since it first started,
Right.
and he heard about it. But he's actually gonna be in town to make his announcements.
I still need a rematch against that guy, Killer Wolf, I think.
Killer Wolf will not be in
Whatever
fact
happened to him?
Killer Wolf is doing Lucha Underground right now
Okay.
and doing WCE. So, but there has been one update. Co-commissioner, I've been finding this out. Killer Wolf will be making his return next week on Friday Night Showdown. Going against Big Bad Silver Wolf for taking the Wolf name. He felt like it was disrespectful to him and to the Lucha Libre, community that he's involved in. Any thoughts on your end about that?
Well, my thoughts are come next week between himself and versus Killer Wolf. I say work that match, receive the bragging rights of the Wolf name. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Okay. So you heard it here, obviously. Because how he felt was ever since Big Bad Silver Wolf came in, he disrespected the Wolf name completely. Like if you're gonna be the Wolf that you say you is, obviously you should respect the name. You should try to win your matches. But instead, he didn't. But now it comes to a time where you gotta get yourself prepared and focused. So what? So I got one question for you while you're on the show. The rematch between you and Killer Wolf. I know that was a phenomenal match that y'all had, and y'all are really good friends.
Yeah, that was for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
That match. Yeah.
You respect him as well. He respect you. And
because he actually.
Do you all want to do it for y'all? An anniversary type show between y'all.
Sure, that'd be great. Killer Wolf versus Mason Black or Mason freaking Black. I mean,
or I could do this. I'll try to post some streams to talk to him. I could try to make it happen. I'll try to see if he will do it for the upcoming big Grand Slam WFEW Mania. Now,
I'll be honored to be
I know he hasn't been around since WC's kicked back in, and he's been focusing on a lot of other things.
Yeah, which is fine.
Ray Uso did announce that he'll be announcing the new person coming into the bloodline as well. If you gotta take a call, go ahead and take that call and then come back. But ladies and gentlemen,
what's up?
we is honored to see Killer Wolf back here next week on Friday Night Showdown. Co-commissioner, I know you ready for Killer Wolf to make his return back to WFEW. You think is it possible if him and Mason freaking Black go at it for WFEW Mania, or should it be for the pay-per-view Goosebumps for October?
Well, the thing is that I will take into consideration.
Okay.
But only if Killer Wolf can agree, if he can make it in time, if he can agree that it will happen under the contract negotiation, because he's under contract negotiations as we speak. We'll get everything arranged and accounted for.
Okay. How long have you known Killer Wolf?
I discovered him in Tijuana, Mexico, nearly 2 years ago.
Okay.
Sensational wrestler, epic background, knows his stuff. He has charisma and amazing agility. So,
All right. Well, guys, I gotta go get some
Yeah.
stuff taken care of. The champ here has to go take care of some stuff. So, Mr. Adonis Filios, I will see you soon. You have a wonderful day and happy anniversary for WFEW, and you as well.
Thank you for coming into the show.
No problem.
Make sure I'm gonna get security for you so that way you can walk out without any incidents.
Right.
Which
See if, that silver pup is out there or not.
Can I get security for Mason freaking Black and make sure that he's safe going to his car?
Mr. Black.
Oh,
Before you
okay.
go,
Yes.
before you go though, I hope you know that on the next episode, you and Dre Silverwolf will have an initial contract signing and a final face-off in a future episode of Friday Night Showdown.
Sounds good. Thank you for the information.
And that which means neither one of you guys cannot touch each other after the contract is signed. You will have your final words within each other, and that will be it.
All right. Sounds good. And well, once again, I'll see you all later. Nice having you on your podcast. Thank you again, Mr. Adonis Filios. And I will see you all later.
All righty. So far as that, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. Thank y'all for tuning in to WFEW The Hype / 1 year anniversary of WFEW. Anything from Co-Commissioner before we head out?
Yes, we're going to be initiating a very brand new era, not just for WFEW, but also for BTCW. And what that means is we have found a brand new and be revealed in the nick of time when you least expect. And trust me, when I say this, WFEW and BTCW will not disappoint.
All right, y'all heard it here first. Thank y'all for tuning in to WFEW The Hype / 1 year anniversary. Thank you, Adonis Filios, for tuning in. And thank y'all for tuning in. And tune in for more stuff like this. WFEW The Hype, signing out.